It is Monday, September 13th. This is Jaguars Happy Hour. Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by Jet Home Loans. And now, a guy who can actually hear you getting fatter, J.P. Shadrick.
Yeah, well, I have experience both sides of that. Welcome in. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. My name's J.P. Shadrick. Today is Monday, and it's the day after Week 1. We have plenty to get to on this program today. Pete Prisco and Tony Boselli on Overreaction Monday. That's what Pete called it on Twitter yesterday. We'll see if he follows it up today. Texans over the Jaguars, of course, 37-21. We'll review the game. Social media questions are pouring in today, all over the place. And we'll go around the National Football League. Tony Boselli is in studio with me, and Pete Prisco is down in South Florida. And the Jaguars did not win in Week 1. It is an 0-1 record. It is a 37-21 final. Tony, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, it's funny, overreaction Monday, and I'm sure we'll get some overreaction today about this game, but them losing did not surprise me. Now, I had picked them to win a close game, but I said it last week on this show. I said it on the morning show with Dan and Jeff, that for anyone to think that this team is going to walk in to Houston, I think we'd lost 6 straight going in, and just walk over them because of the offseason issues that Houston had, thought was mistaken, because they built a veteran team. A bunch of pieces and parts, but they have a veteran NFL coach who is widely respected. They had a plan, and you talk to people in Houston. It's a good building now. It's a good culture. Yes, Deshaun Watson is a distraction, but really just to the outside world if you go in that locker room. Mm-hmm. And I thought it would be a close game. The shocking thing to me is that 37-21, it wasn't that close.
No, it was not.
And a couple things that just jump out to me, and I know we'll dive into this, and I know Pete probably has several comments to make along these lines, is I thought the team looked very unorganized. And I thought it looked like a early preseason game almost, from the standpoint of misalignments.
Yeah, guys coming on the field late, 12
guys
men.
running around. I think if I got this right, and I counted yesterday, and I watched the film this morning, I forgot to count it. I think on the first punt we only had 10 people on the field.
Wow.
Well, I'll go back and double check that. So, and it was just unorganized. That's what it looked like. Yeah. And that was shocking to me.
Pete, where do you stand after 1 week with the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah. That was gross. That was a bad performance in every way, shape, or form. It was terrible. It's the penalties, disorganized. I thought the game plan on offense was terrible. Where's the pre-snap motion? Where's the creativity in it? They line up 2 on one side and 1 on the other, or 2 on one side and 2 on the other, and they don't do anything now. Don't do anything. They just run their routes. It's awful. It was bad all the way around. It was bad. And they got out-coached. I'm going to put that out there. One team looked like it was prepared, and one didn't. That's the bottom line. And I'm not saying that's exactly the reason they lost, but it sure looked that way. When you have those kind of mistakes, it looks that way. It looks like you're unprepared. Like the other team was better prepared. We said last week that that's a veteran team. Remember, they were going to show up, and they did. They really did. And has the offensive line improved? And I'm not going to put it all on them. I watched the tape today. There were moments where the tackles were bad. A.J. Cann was awful. And the left guard was okay and the center was okay, but that's a bad line right now, and the guys don't get open and they have no creativity. And other than that, they're pretty darn good on offense. The quarterback was wild at times too.
Yeah.
And by the way, he left some clean pockets too. He drifted in some of them. He did Tony's favorite thing when he drifts. He loves that when they drift.
We'll get to Trevor Lawrence's day coming up in a moment. Urban Meyer last night after the game had some reaction to the Jaguars' loss in Houston. He said, "Don't worry about the head coach."
I hear that a lot, and I'd rather people not worry about me. That's a gray-haired dude that's been around for a long time. I got a bunch of players in there that deserve to win and work their tails off. And I would tell, I don't know if I'd tell you guys exactly, but I would tell them. Say, we don't work very hard, but they work their tails off. We're going to continue to work. There's only one answer. That's the great thing about this sport. There's not, we have to make a secret pass call or protection call. It's just work. That's the greatest thing about the game of football. Go out and work, and that's what we shall do.
They shall, Tony, get back to work starting today.
Well, he's right. I mean, there's no, shortcut. There's no magic pill you're going to take. There's no, hey, let's go get this fantasy football player and, change the roster and put some new gimmick in. There's no answer like that. It is just getting back and starting at the basics, and you got to work. You got to get better. And by the way, not just the players, the coaches. Got to be more organized. You can't be running guys on and off the field last minute. Guys should know. I'm a big believer. If guys can't get lined up right, that's on the coaches. Either you're doing too much or you're not teaching it because they had trouble getting lined up. So it is about work. It's about getting back to the basics. It's getting on the field. It's getting reps and reps and reps and reps. And I agree with Pete. I mean, his point around offense, I was shocked that they came out and did. I mean, the fact that James Robinson had 5 touches and I think averaged 5 yards a carry is just unfathomable to me.
Well, I'll say this about the run game. They had to get away from it a little bit because
they didn't.
They were behind the chains a bunch early in all these penties. There's third and long.
Yeah, but
all
when
these
it was,
long
yeah, but
downs.
JP, it was 17-7 and they were away from
No,
Yeah.
first of all, go look at the first 2 series. It was majority pass. Go look at the play call.
Yeah, I think it was. They opened up with what was it almost not 8 straight passes.
3
or
straight
something?
passes. First series. 3
Here we
straight
go.
passes.
Here we go. First series, 1st and 10 from the Jaguars 21. Trevor Lawrence incomplete, middle to James Robinson. There's a penalty on the play, illegal formation, no play. 1st and 15, Lawrence pass incomplete, short right. 2nd down and 15, pass incomplete, short right to Chark. 3rd and 15, pass short middle to Chenault, but he's out of bounds after 13 yards, 4th down.
4 straight passes.
Okay, well keep going to
the
next series.
Next series, 6:39 in the first quarter. The 1st and 10 at the 25. Lawrence deep pass right to Marvin Jones for 33 yards. Robinson left guard for 12 yards. Penalty holding Brandon Linder. No play. 1st and 20. Pass short middle. Pass incomplete short middle. And pass incomplete short right.
So
Punt team.
First 8 plays.
So
field goal. Missed the field goal.
8 straight. 8. The only 8 plays that counted. They were all passes.
Well, but they called it. Out of 8 plays, out of 9 called plays, because they had 1 run. And
out of 10, they had 1 run because they had an illegal formation on the first play where they threw the ball.
Correct.
And so I would say now watching the tape, there were a couple times throughout the game, a few times that you could tell that a run pass option was called by the action of the line. They were run blocking, and Trevor threw a bubble screen. That happened a few times. And so those could have been runs. Regardless, James Robinson's your second best player on offense. Second best player. You got to get him more touches than 5, and he's averaging 5 yards a pop. Run the ball. You have a rookie quarterback back there.
Speaking of that rookie quarterback, let's hear from quarterback Trevor Lawrence last night, looking at how it went in Week 1 in his debut.
Yeah, just keep trusting it. It's going to come. Obviously, there was ups and downs. I thought we didn't start great, but then right after that first drive, like I said, we kind of had some momentum, started playing well. And then just up and down the whole game, and just telling the O-line, all of us just, hey, stick together, keep making plays, keep playing. Even at the end, I know didn't change the game, but going and scoring right there, I like how we fought and got that last drive, a good 2-minute drill, put it in, looked clean. That was great. I thought that was good for us. Obviously, like I said, didn't change the game, but I liked how we kept playing, and that was the one thing that nobody quit. And obviously, it was a rough game. We're going to get better, but that was the main thing, is just keep playing. We're going to make the plays. I'm gonna get better, and we're gonna make those. I missed some bad ones today, and obviously had too many turnovers, but we'll get better.
Can Trevor come give us a pep talk every morning? I like hearing him talk after games. But, now Urban said today that they're not going to be throwing it 51 times a game.
They shouldn't have done it game 1. Like, I would have come out, and I know, Pete, this probably drives you crazy. I wouldn't have put it run-pass option in the quarterback's hand early. Like, run the ball. Go use that offensive line. Go beat on these guys. Go get the run game going and make it comfortable get some long drives, get some first downs, let them get into a rhythm. I did not understand that strategy at all. And so, I mean, I'll go back to Urban's comments. You got to get better. You got to work. There's no substitution. And it's not just the players, it's the coaches, it's everyone. Because, and Trevor's right, they'll get better, but guess what? That's probably the worst team they're going to play all year. Or one of them.
Really?
It's one of the worst.
The team,
Yeah.
they look slow.
But before you get into the speed and everything, I know you're going there. Pete, would you not argue that Houston will be one of the worst teams they face all year on their schedule?
I told you how I felt about Houston. I thought they were going to be feisty early in the season and stay in games. I think they're going to be one of those teams that hangs around in games. They might not win a lot, but they're going to be a pain for a lot of teams. Hey, they're the first place team in the division.
Yeah.
The division was
that.
disaster
But
yesterday.
Going down, listen, I'll just go to the next three. Denver better or worse than Houston?
Better.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you better get better because you're playing. By the way, Vic Fangio, one of the best defensive coordinators minds in football, and will throw a bunch of stuff at you, and they got good personnel to do
I
it.
was going to say, they got a guy named Miller over on that side of the ball, too.
How about Arizona? Better or worse than Houston?
Way better.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty good.
Kyler was pretty good yesterday.
Chandler Jones only
Well,
had 5
the
sacks.
defense was phenomenal. I just watched the tape of the Cardinals. They were phenomenal.
Taylor Lewan had a long day, Pete.
Oh my! It started on the first play, Tony. Put his head down on a run play. Put his head down. He went right by him and tackled him the whole day. He was awful. You know, we've come up with this thing at CBS now. Every Wednesday when we make our picks, I give out the annual Spinning Top Award. They've created a little GIF with me spinning on a top. He's this week's winner. I can tell you that. He was awful. Tony,
Okay.
If you didn't know who that was, you would have thought it was some guy that got up off the street to play. That's how bad he was.
Week 4, Thursday night.
Week 4, Thursday night on the road's hard all by itself. I don't care who you play. Cincinnati, better or worse than Houston?
Better.
Better. So you better get better. You have to get better.
Which
Because-
begs the question, is 0-17 a possibility?
No, Pete, it's not.
No, what?
It's not. I'm not doing that.
Well, it's
There-
still possible because
there-
they're
there's-
Yeah,
It's
because they haven't won yet. But yeah, I get where you're going. But I
There's
think
the
they'll
first
win some-
overreaction of the day.
Yeah,
overreaction Monday, Pete.
No, I'm not saying they're going 0-17, but you look at the schedule, it's certainly possible.
No.
I think you're insinuating it.
Yeah, I don't
No,
think so.
I'm not.
I think you are,
Well, okay,
Pete.
you just have them at 0-4 right off the gate, right out of the bat.
No, I never said they're going to be 0-4. I just said you better
Okay,
get a
pick a
lot.
win. Pick a win out of that group then.
You better get a lot better. You better improve
That's it.
because it does not get easier.
Okay.
You want to
Go
lock
ahead.
one of those, Tone?
No.
No. Okay.
I'll lock
There's
this. I'll lock something. The team's not going 0-17. That's a lock.
Well, I would pretty much say that too, but it's hard to find a win on that schedule now.
Well, if you play that way, but the first rule in football, don't beat yourself. First rule, don't beat yourself. Like, just clean that up, and you got a chance.
Line up on
What-
side, get on the field, all that stuff.
I don't know. I just thought it was awful. That game was over at halftime. Basically, it was done. It was a bad game, and I know. Look, they beat the Colts last year, and everybody thought that the Jaguars were going to be better than they thought. They didn't win again, so I know that's where the overreaction comes in. But what gives you hope that they're going to be a good football team, Tony, or win 4, 5, 6 games from that
16.
game?
I think. I mean, your point around Trevor Lawrence, maybe he drifted a little bit, but I'll tell you this: I thought he showed confidence and courage. He stepped up into the pocket. There was a bunch of guys on the edge all day long. He was getting hit. I know they only had 1 sack, but go watch the tape, Pete. You watched it.
Yeah.
There was guys
Yeah, he
flashing
got-
in front of his face the entire game. It was like
I thought the
leaky.
line did it. Am I wrong when I say this, Tony? I thought the line did a terrible job with their stunts.
I didn't think the line did very good at much of anything.
Yeah, the stunts really bothered him. AJ can. I don't think I've ever seen him play that bad.
Yeah, it was one of the worst games I've seen AJ play.
The tackles haven't gotten any better. Let's put that out there.
Well, it was one of the conversations we had, Pete, is and had this conversation with a couple people. What did you expect to change when you brought all 5 of the same guys back with the same coach and everything else? And by the way, a couple of them are veterans and they're a year older. What was going to what was going to now Urban and Trent said that Trent Baalke, GM, said they liked the group. They felt good about the group. Well, if that's the case, the group's got to play better. The group's got to perform. There's been no bigger bandwagon individual on the offensive line than me. I actually believe in those guys as far as individual talents, but you got to go put it together in a game. And you got to be consistent, and you can't let your quarterback get hit. Now, I don't think, again, they did him any favors by throwing it 51 times and not running the ball with James Robinson. And speaking of James Robinson, I don't understand why they're rotating, like sharing equal reps between James Robinson and Carlos Hyde.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Carlos Hyde actually made a couple good runs, but it's still ridiculous.
It's just a mystery to me. So
it's a bad offense right now, and the quarterback has talent. The design of it isn't good, Tony. Let's put that out there. There's no creativity. Is standing up and throwing a bubble screen to Laviska Shenault creativity? It's not.
But I'll go back to Pete, your question. What gives me confidence that this team will be better? I saw a lot of things out of the quarterback yesterday that said, like that. That looks good.
Haven't seen that in a while on this Jaguars field.
Yeah, I get it. He's the real deal. He didn't play that well yesterday, but you could see the moments where he's really the real deal. I get it. And defensively, there was actually some decent plays made at times on defense.
Yeah.
But I just think offensively, it was.
But Pete,
it was.
1 second. I'm going to come to you in a second. Stop waving your hand at me. I see you the 15 times. You want to go to break?
Okay.
Just stop. Is defensively, Pete? I guess I disagree with you a little bit. I thought they had trouble lining up. I don't think you give up over 400 yards of total offense to that team and say you play.
Yeah, but like
well.
one of them was a throw for 60 yards. Where
I don't care. Those all count. You know those count, Pete.
I know, but that's an accident. You can't.
Oh, so let's just take all the big explosive plays. If you could take all the big explosive plays out of a game, heck, I'd be a good defense.
Now, it's not like they were like wide open catch and runs. They were jump balls, like a lot those deep balls down the field.
But still, like on that one, they had him. They should have sacked him, and he scrambled away from it and threw it up. And Shaquille Griffin had to cover him all the way across the field.
Hey, great. Should have, could have, would have. You know the difference between winning and losing is actually not should have, could have, would have.
Well,
done. Got it.
We'll go through the defense
How about that?
player by player. We'll go through the whole team player by player at some point today.
Wow.
And I know JP wants to get off because he wants his break. Wave him off, JP, please. I want you to do it. It makes me feel good. Wave him, please.
Okay.
Pete, that was one of the worst overreaction Mondays I've ever seen from you, by the way.
0-17?
Enough out of you, Tony. We're back in a moment. It's time for a timeout. We're going to come back, a little defensive talk. We were on the topic. We'll go a little deeper into defense when we come back. We'll also, a little later, dig into Trevor Lawrence's day. In the second hour, your social media questions, season tickets, single game tickets, and group tickets. Be a part of the new era of Jaguars football and own it. Visit jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We are off and running. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by Dreamfinders Homes, homes that fit your lifestyle. And by Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com. It's not kickoff without the small places that make Jaguars game day big. That's why Crown Royal is turning game day into giving day by supporting communities that serve us off the field. Nominate a local community hero to win the ultimate Jaguars game day experience at jaguars.com/Crown Royal promotion. Because Crown Royal believes if you live generously, life will treat you royally. Visit crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Hi folks, Frank Frangie here to tell you where to find the most authentic Southern Pit barbecue in all of Jacksonville. That's right, Bono's. For 72 years, Bono's has been smoking real pit barbecue right here on the First Coast. Smoked for hours, served in minutes, and always cut to order. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at TIAA Bank Field. Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you want great barbecue, head to Bono's today. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Hold on. You want me to tell them about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in just 30 seconds? This is impossible. Hey, I'm Billy from Twisted Tea. How can I explain that first sip of cold, smooth, real brewed tea? So good. And the extra kick you get from just the right amount of alcohol? The twist of lemon, wait, what? We're almost out of time? Oh, shit. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for the bright yellow cans wherever you buy beer.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
You know what you expect at an airport hotel. A bed, a shuttle that's never on time, and if you're lucky, a day-old Danish on your way out the door. But at the Crowne Plaza Jacksonville Airport, you get a renovated lobby, restaurant, and bar, and 10,000 square feet of luxurious space for memorable family and business events. So stop by, stay a while, and expect to be surprised. Crowne Plaza Jacksonville Airport. Book online or call 1-877-2-CROWN. That's 1-877-227-6963.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
When Jaguars news breaks, you'll hear about it first on 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously sucks. Like losing's always hard, especially when you feel like you're prepared and had a great week and really think we were ready and just obviously didn't play well. It starts with me. I played really bad tonight, so disappointing for sure. I still believe in this team. I still know what we're capable of, and we did some good things. I mean, you see, we started off with some penalties, 3 and out, but then after that, we had a couple good drives. We're hitting some big plays, and there's a lot of good things there, and we got to keep doing those and learn from the bad, and we got to watch it and learn from it for sure, but then flip the page. It's a long season. We can't let this snowball. We got to move on and go win next week. So that's where we're going to start at, but definitely disappointing for sure.
That's the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, after the game yesterday, and he was 28 of 51 passing, 332 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a rating of 70.1. And the only rookie in Jaguars history with 300-plus yards and at least 3 touchdowns in a single game. But those touchdowns, a couple of them came late in the game. Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick with Tony Boselli and Pete Prisco as we recap week number 1. And, all right, so we discussed the balance of plays, right? 51 passes to however many runs there were. Not enough, it felt like. So what about Trevor Lawrence's play in this game, Pete? When you saw him in there, the interceptions late in the first half, and then the other one late to the linebacker.
Well, the one to the linebacker, I think he thought the receiver was going to come underneath there because there's no other explanation for that throw. It was just a terrible throw. The one where it was flushed left and threw back across his body, this is a bad decision. I mean, that's just a bad let it sail. I mean, the decision isn't bad. It's just a bad throw is what I meant to say because the guy's open. He just sails it. But the one in the middle of the field, I couldn't figure out what he was doing on that play. I don't know. The one we just showed
was he got fooled by cover 2.
Yeah. He just the corner came off and he didn't see him.
Well, the corner
was
came
the
off.
Second of the 3.
Yeah,
yes.
The corner came off because there was nothing holding him underneath. I mean, James, if you need a flat receiver, James was kind of moseying out there, but he was still near or behind the line of scrimmage, so there was no threat, and so that corner could play really soft. If you want to hold that corner, you have to threaten the flat, keep him underneath, so that you have that open window to the receiver.
And there were a couple, interestingly enough, plays, Tony, I'm sure you saw it, where he could have gone to the flat in some situations. There wasn't a player near him, and it would have been like a 10-yard, 12-yard gain, and instead he tried to force a ball in down the field a little bit.
Yeah, he just needs to learn to take what the defense is going to give you. And I think he tried to press a little bit of times, and that's normal. That stuff doesn't worry me. I mean, it's going to cost you games in it, but I don't think that's the main reason they lost.
No. Like, I really like the touchdown pass to Chark. They ran two verticals, and he kind of held the safety in the middle of the field on that inside vertical, and then he threw the shot down the sideline, which I thought was a good play. And the one to Manhurts, I thought that was the touchdown to him. That was a really good play and a good throw. It was a little behind him, but it was still a good play and a good throw. I think he gets it. That's what you want to see. I don't think there's any situation where he's not getting it, like where to go. You take the check down, you can do that. He'll learn that. I don't like the design of the offense. Don't you think they should run more mesh concepts or crossers and, bunch them up and pick and rub? And because they're just not, I don't know, just go down and you turn around at 10 and you turn around at 10 and you turn around at 10.
Pete, you're not going to run rubs and stuff when you have a team playing almost all cover 2. They were playing.
I get it. I get what they were playing. I'm saying, but they haven't showed any of that at all.
Well, I know that, but you can't expect it yesterday when 90% of the snaps are in cover 2. They played very little man. And so you have to have cover 2 beaters.
You can do some different things where you can get into the middle of the field. They didn't do anything in the middle of the field.
No, that's better, Pete. Now you're making more sense instead of saying running.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying
zone.
In the grand scheme of things going forward. I didn't say yesterday. I'm just saying yesterday was
you basically insinuated yesterday. That's exactly.
No, you can't. I know you can't run rubs and picks when they're not playing man. But I'm saying there's no creativity to it.
Well,
you think it's creative? You think that was a good plan yesterday?
Listen, I think creative yesterday would have been
in the passing game. Was that a good plan?
I think a little creativity would be handing it off to James Robinson, off tackle.
You're just an old school offensive lineman. That's all you ever want to do.
Offensive lineman. Well, maybe I am, Pete. But what I'm talking about is get the quarterback comfortable. We just went over how many times they threw the ball. Run it. It wasn't like they were getting stuffed in the run. JP, do you have the stats in front of you?
I got them.
Read me total rushes by the Jaguars.
Total rushes by the Jaguars. Let's see, we got 14 by running backs, 1 by Chenault, and 1 by Lawrence.
Okay, so we'll give it 16 because you have to count them all. And
16 for 76 yards.
So 16 for 76 yards. That's just under 5 yards a carry. It's about 4.7.
4.8.
4.8.
Yes.
How many yards did James Robinson have?
James Robinson had 5 carries for 25 yards. Along of 7, he also had 1 called back.
That's 5 yards a carry. And what about Carlos Hyde?
Carlos Hyde, 9 carries, 44 yards.
That's just under 5 yards a carry. Why aren't you running the ball more? 5 yards a carry, Pete. You run the ball. Guess what? You know what happens when you start running the ball against cover 2? They drop the safety down. Now you have a single high safety. Now you can take some shots down the field. Run the ball. You have a rookie quarterback. Go to the weakness of the defense. If they're going to play 2 high safeties, run it. And run it again, and run it again.
Well, that's ideally what you're supposed to do when you play 2 high safeties. I mean,
that's my point. You're all caught up in this creativity and running rub routes against zone.
It's still not
Who cares?
Still not
How about just doing the fundamentals?
Creative.
This team is not good enough to do crazy stuff. Do the right things, the foundational things right first.
I thought you were going to say something else there, Tony. You were on a roll there for a second. He's pounding the table, Pete.
Pounding the table. I'm mad. Frustrated.
Well, so you want him to come out and run the ball on Sunday.
Well, when you're averaging 5 yards a carry, I think it's a good idea, especially when you have a rookie quarterback. It's just me. That's just me, Pete. Call me crazy.
All right, we've got plenty to get to. Let's come back in a moment. We'll get into this defense yesterday.
You said that last time. You lied to us.
Well, you guys wanted to talk quarterback.
I think you did. I think
the running game. You wanted to pound the table about the running game.
I think you had the wrong teaser coming out, and then you played offense.
Well, I know in your full review of the rundown earlier, you probably noted that. Let's come back in a moment and get into defense. Tyrod Taylor had a pretty good day against this Jaguars team yesterday. Check out the official Jaguars Podcast Network, a free subscription on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your pods. And give us that 5-star rating as always. And it's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by TIAA Bank. Turn potential into progress. And by Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG, too. Former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Everyone's so busy keeping up. Forget about the Joneses. We all on our telephones with the texts and the tweets and the beats. What he said, she said, can't even follow the thread. Down the hole, we all go. Me, I like keeping up too, with my Corona and my attitude. That's La Vida Más Fina.
Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
I'm Urban Meyer, head football coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
New horizons call for renewed vision, enhanced clarity, and an unparalleled willingness to block out the noise and distractions around you and simply focus on achieving greatness. Because getting one step closer to defying everyone's expectations isn't just about waiting for a window of opportunity, it's about creating it for yourself. It's about being a game changer, both on and off the field. And when we say we're all about renewal and achievement in Jacksonville, we mean it. That's why we've chosen to partner with Renewal by Anderson, official window and door replacement company of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
In America, the future belongs to everyone, so we built the trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 44 years straight. Built for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't built for a few, they're built for America. Ford F-Series, drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
Jacksonville Sports Talk for Jacksonville sports fans. 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We had 3 times we had him in our grasp, and he ran out, and 2 of them became big plays. And he got the ball out just on, nick of time. So obviously you'd expect more sacks than that, but also understanding who you're going against, make sure you're aiming for the right shoulder. He spun out of it a couple times, but 3 times we had him wrapped up, and one, they just made a great play, launched it on the field, and the guy went up and made a play. And there's other one was a pressure, and right in his face, and he got it out, and the guy made another play that we should have, 50-50 ball.
That's Urban Meyer today after yesterday's loss to the Houston Texans down at NRG Stadium, 37-21. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. Glad you're along with us this afternoon. Well, the Jaguars didn't get any takeaways in the game yesterday. Tyrod Taylor got out of the pocket a little bit, threw the ball down the field. Some ran in one instance for a lengthy gain. Josh Allen spoke with the media after the game down in Houston yesterday and said that's one thing this Jaguars defense has to do. It's get the football.
We had a couple plays when they had long games, but defense, we stay strong. You know what I'm saying? We didn't give up touchdowns, not all the time. So we just got to convert those to turnovers, man. We got to get the ball. That's one thing we have to really harp on, is getting the ball. We didn't have that many opportunities to get the ball, but we got to go get them. And that's up to me. That's up to, all the other defensive players. We got to get the ball. Got to.
Got to get the ball. He didn't get it yesterday. They put some pressure on Taylor. I mean, that was going to be one of the pregame storylines was, what is this defense going to do? Well, it feels like it might be like Baltimore and pressure from all over the place. What'd you make of the defensive performance first time out for this Jaguars team, Tony?
Below average. Give up 37. Now, I'll give them credit in one area. Their sudden change defense was great.
Yeah, stopped him on a field goal, got off the field.
Yeah, the two picks in plus territory, one at inside the 10, and you gave up 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
And so it could have been, all that means is it could have been much worse. But take those away, take that 3 points away, and you still gave up 34 to a Texans offense. Talking to some of the people in the building for the Texans, weren't sure they would get lined up right. I mean, and now there was tongue-in-cheek, but they were saying it's going to be a struggle. I was shocked that they ran the ball the way they did. It's a solid offensive line for the Texans, not great. They had 171 yards, I believe.
No, rushing 160.
160. So take the 40 out that Tyrod Taylor had. Still 120.
Mm-hmm.
How many yards per carry?
3.9 per carry, 41 total attempts in the game for the Texans.
What did take out his per carry average and then total it up and tell me what that was?
I just did. So it was 38 for 120. No. 38 for 120.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor had 4 carries for 40 yards total.
Oh yeah, so it's 30
37
35. Oh no, 37 for 120. So over.
That's not that. That's less than 4 yards per carry. That's not that bad.
I get that, Pete, but you have number one, the quarterback does count in this league now. I just want to let you know.
Wow.
Secondly, it was more how they were able to, one drive stands out where they had it. The game was not over, and they went 80 yards. It felt like and they ran the ball every play. It felt like and converted some key third downs, and this was a defense that was, they invested a lot. I thought Roy Robinson Harris played well, of guys who were new to the team. I thought he was physical, but I just thought they played. I thought, again, I wasn't overly impressed with that Houston offensive line. I think the backs are good, not great, and I just thought they'd have more success stopping the run. And I definitely didn't think they were going to give up 280 some odd yards in passing.
Okay, so take away the quarterback runs, the scrambles or whatever they were, and it's 3.25 per rush, Tony. That's not that bad.
I know, Pete, but just like you don't get to take away the big plays, you don't get to take away quarterback rushing.
Well, those aren't. In the context of the running game itself. Yeah. You're not really counting them.
Okay,
they played well in the run game. I thought they did a decent job in the run game.
Pete, what do you want me to say? They played great?
I'm not saying they play great.
You're right on. What's your point? What's your point?
It wasn't as bad as the numbers would make you believe, and particularly when you watch the tape. I thought you were right about Roy Robertson Harris really played well. I thought Malcolm Brown made a couple really good plays. Hamilton was a little bit of a disappointment. When you say he was
not as good as I thought he would be.
Yeah, I thought Wilson was bad. Would you agree with that?
Damian Wilson?
Nothing jumped out. How about that?
Miles Jack made a couple good plays, got caught on a couple passes. Wingard in the hole was terrible. He whiffed on one of those. I think he whiffed on the touchdown run, didn't he? On one of those touchdown runs, he put his head down and whiffed. I don't know. You're right. It wasn't as bad as the numbers would indicate. It wasn't great either. It wasn't like they just shut him down completely.
Pete, they gave him 34 points.
Right, but you were talking about the run defense, Tony. You said the run defense. 3.2 per rush is not that bad when you take the quarterback scramble.
So here's the thing with Mark Ingram. Let's take him, for example, right? 26 carries, 85 yards. His 11th year in the league, by the way. In the first half, he had 11 carries for 34 yards. So he got a lot more carries in the second half of the game. They're up 3 scores at that point, probably running a little bit more. And, obviously if he explodes, then that's one thing, but they're just churning the clock at that point.
Oh, yeah, they took the air out of the ball.
I don't know if that's the true running game that you're talking about.
Well, coming out of the half, Houston went super conservative because I don't think they had any confidence the Jaguars would score.
Right. So is that the true run defense and run offense for the Texans? I don't know.
Well, if a team rushes it 50 times for 100 yards, it's 2 yards a carry, but they still had a 100-yard rushing game. It wasn't that bad as a run defense, at least in my mind.
Okay. How about overall defense, Pete? Since you think
that wasn't that good. I mean, at times you look at that and you go, I don't know what they were doing. There's plays where you sit there and you go, okay, Hamilton should have had a sack on the one play, and they ended up into the 60-yard pass. Little things like that. Did you think it was? I mean, it didn't look like a 37-yard game when you watched a 37-point game when you watched it on the tape. I didn't think. It wasn't like guys.
I watched it live, and it felt like that watching it live, and watching it on this morning. My takeaway was the Texans are, like to your point, Peter, scrappy, but there's nothing that they did that was like wow, which makes me even more worried.
Correct. That's right. When you watched it, it was no wow. Like this play here, for the touchdown they just showed, Miles Jack got rubbed by his own guy on that play.
Well, Pete, it's great. It's called execution. It's not like this is the problem. You can't break down a game and say, well, if we did this on this play, and if this wouldn't happen, and we'd have won this 50-50 ball, and we'd have done this, blah, 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 blah. You didn't. That's why, we lost. And these are the plays. Football, that's what I appreciate about Urban. It's about just go work, there's no quick fix. Don't beat yourself, and go make plays. Like, teams who win, setting aside that they have talent and all that stuff, teams who win this league don't beat themselves with errors. That's the first thing. Second thing is they go make plays. Like contested plays that aren't drawn up perfectly, don't need like everything going your way. They just make plays. They sack the quarterback when you're supposed to sack it. They go high point the ball when you're supposed to high point it.
Did anybody play well on defense in your mind?
I just said I thought Roy Robinson Harris played well.
He's the only one?
I actually thought Rayshawn Jenkins played well.
Urban Meyer said that Josh Allen was probably the best overall guy yesterday.
I thought Josh Allen had some really good pass rushes. I think he showed power against Tunsil. I thought that was like great. Tunsil's a good player. I agree. I think Josh Allen played well. I thought Jenkins played well. Roy Robinson Harris played well. I think Malcolm Brown was solid.
Okay, now let's go to the one we've been questioning all preseason.
Who's that?
The first round pick from a year ago.
Chason?
Yeah.
He missed some clean opportunities.
There was one time he got passed twice by Taylor on one play.
I'll say he had a couple nice run plays where he was more physical than he was last year.
I agree. He came down on a run play and blasted a guy and made the play.
So I thought
he was better, but he dropped into coverage a bunch of times too, he looked very awkward doing that.
You know, Pete, an interesting thing to talk about is offensively, it's hard to go down the field and consistently have like 8 to 12 play drives and score points. You have to go get chunk yardage. You got to get big plays. Defensively, it's hard to get people off the field unless you can get them behind the sticks or get big plays, sacks.
Yeah. Turnovers, that kind of
tackles
stuff.
For loss, turnovers, that kind of stuff. And it's those big splash plays where I think give you exponentially higher opportunity to win or chance of winning. And that's what worries me a little bit, Pete. Where are the splash plays going to come from?
Well,
on both sides.
On defense, on offense,
both sides.
DJ Chark's the only one. He's the only one. And on defense, it's got to be Josh Allen.
Yeah. I was going to say about Chark. I mean, he didn't start the game great yesterday. Had a drop early, a holding call. He was targeted 12 times and had 3 catches in the game.
Yeah.
And he should have had another long catch on the sideline, but that was a bad throw by Lawrence. He should have had that on the inside. He threw it to the outside. Yeah. But he was winning a little bit outside, which is a good sign.
Well, plenty ahead on the program today. We'll come back in a moment, wrap up the opening hour of Jaguars Happy Hour. Then we'll get to your social media questions in the second hour of the show. Final score in Week 1. Go ahead, Tony. Just walk right in front of the shot on camera. That's great. Thank you very much. Final score in Week 1 was 37-21, Texans over the Jaguars. And this is Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com. Need pest control that's safe and actually works? Then look no further than Jaguar's proud partner, Kingfish Pest Control. Kingfish is family-owned and has thousands of 5-star customer reviews for good reason. Their high level of customer care and quality service is off the charts. They're the leaders in pest control technology, using the industry's latest and greatest pest application equipment and products. They'll even email a picture of the technician who'll be coming to your home. Let the pros tackle the pest in your home. Go to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com.
It's time for sunshine and summer showers, so it's more important than ever to make sure you call Crystal Clean for all your waterproofing needs. Waterproofing can extend the life of your building by keeping water outside where it belongs. And that Florida sun can beat up your business's paint job. Crystal Clean's painting services can bring your building back to life. From waterproofing to painting, schedule Crystal Clean today. Call 904-220-3337 or go to crystalclean.com. You don't have to worry when it's crystal clean.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So, it's happy hour. Let's talk whiskey options. Have you tried Citrus Distillers? Have you tried Citrus Distillers Limited Edition 2021 Barrel-Aged Jaguar Whiskey? Did you know it's only available for a limited time and manufactured in Jacksonville? Yes, Jacksonville. I said local whiskey. Try it on the rocks or in a Jack's Whiskey Sour. Citrus Distillers Jaguars Whiskey is available at local liquor stores, restaurants, and the Jaguar Stadium. Drink local, Jacksonville. Find recipes and events at jaguarswhiskey.com.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
The station that the Jaguars listen to, 1010XL. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We got to make the play. You know, it's just that simple. You know, we all got a job to do, like I preached before. And once those situations come, we just got to make those plays. So it's not just, you know, a team or defensive scheme-wise. It was, you know what I'm saying, it was you got your name, we got our name called, and if that situation comes up, we got to make the play. And, you know, we missed a lot of those opportunities, but we're going to come back next week, and we're going to double up.
It's Josh Allen, Jaguars defensive end and outside linebacker after the game yesterday in Houston. And welcome back, Jaguars Happy Hour on a Monday afternoon. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. Daly's play schedule is heating up. Trippy Red, September 18th. That's a few days away. And then Carlos Santana on the 21st begins a 4-straight-day stretch of shows, in fact.
Who's 311?
311 was a mid to late 90s alternative group. They had some hits back in the days. They were MTV heavy back in those days.
I know
Counting Crows the 23rd, and actually September 24th is Coheed and Cambria. So
what's Coheed and Cambria?
I'm not exactly sure. I'll be honest with you. But Tony, can I have the couch for the 311 show?
I don't have a couch.
Yeah, come on.
I don't.
Come on,
I
Tony.
went to the.
Don't lie.
I did go to the Sam Hunt concert Friday night.
How was that?
How was that, Tony?
Oh, just awesome. Just freaking awesome.
He's like a rapping country guy.
I wouldn't really say rapping, but he's.
But you know what I mean. He's got some.
No,
funk to him.
I personally like rap, so I mean, but I wouldn't. Yeah, I get what you're saying. He is great. He is.
I like him.
I mean, you talk about a great show, and that venue. Every time I go there, I say the same thing. It's just a fabulous place to watch a show.
5,500 seats.
I mean, it's just fabulous. I mean,
different seating options.
We've been on the couches Friday night.
Yeah, of course you were. Yeah.
No, not this Friday. I was up in the terrace. So it was great.
So I mean, so you didn't answer my question. Can I get the couch on 311 or for Santana? It'd be great.
After the show, did you go to all the bars across the street? Oh, that's not there yet.
Oh, wow. It's coming at some point, hopefully down the line here. By the way, tickets at daily'splace.com.
Such a cheap shot.
Wow.
Well, because I think Chad wants to put him there in the cities. I mean, they blocked him. Didn't they block him a couple times? Come on.
I will say this. I'm not getting into the politics because I don't want to go down that road. I'll say this, though. If there would have been something, we would have gone because what my wife and I did, we got an Uber and went to Atlantic Beach.
I'll say this, too. I was walking out of the stadium yesterday right after the Packers-Saints game had finished, and I had 3 people come up to me and say, what is there to do within walking distance around here? And there's a few options, but there could be a whole lot more. And that's why you need to go to firstdowntownjacks.com, the number one ST, downtownjacks.com, and show your support.
And this has nothing to do with the politics. I'm just a big believer in it. I mean, my wife and I obviously I'm at the games, but I'm here working. But we like coming down the amphitheater as much as we possibly can to listen to music. And like usually what we end up doing is going back to Jack's Beach and going and meeting people or going to Atlantic Beach or wherever.
Yep. I'll usually just hop back over the bridge and do whatever over there.
But if there's someone there
how much is an Uber from downtown Jacksonville to the Jack's Beach these days? $50?
It wasn't cheap.
Well, I mean, Tony goes in the black XL.
Right.
And,
yeah, of course he does.
That's what
he does. I'm sure he should just get your normal limo driver to drive you out every night, Tony. What the hell?
My point is, I hope, and then the Four Seasons come. I would love to have places to go hang out and then just walk across the street.
Be perfect, right?
Yeah, bars and restaurants around the stadium.
Yes.
So it's a destination area. So there's Ubers, and they're there in 2 seconds, and yes, that's exactly what they need.
Oh, I would have been all over it because that Sam, it was all jacked up excited after that Sam Hunt concert. I was ready to go home.
He was ready to go eat some chicken wings.
I was ready to go do some work.
Yeah. We're talking about social media has been a trip today, by the way.
Has it?
Jaguars Twitter. I mean, it is. The sun came up today, which is a good sign after yesterday's game.
There was not just the Jaguars Twitter, but I saw last night a number of memes going across the the Twitter sphere from different people. Just out. The one thing is, with Urban Meyer as your coach, you get national attention whether you want it or not.
Yes, you do.
I mean, that's
wasn't hashtag 0-17 trending?
You can't hashtag numbers, Pete.
Good try, Pete. Well,
you can write it out though.
Your colleague took a little bit of a shot on this Sunday morning before the NFL kicked off.
I saw that.
I didn't read it, but I heard about it.
Yeah, there was a lot of rehash of what we've said on here, what I've said.
Huh. So, the good news is this: if you start winning, you'll get that same cool attention.
That's correct.
And that's the power of an Urban Meyer. He's a personality. He is as big as life and one of the big personalities in all of football. And you're going to listen. They're going to follow you and what you do.
I'm joking around about 0-17. By the way, it's unfair to anybody in week 1 to judge your team based on any of that.
You do it all the time.
Well, but I mean. Look, I don't think they're going to be a good team, but it's not like he can't possibly turn it around. The guy's won football games at places. He's been a success at places. So, they can win games. They're just not going to win they're not going to get to the postseason. They're not going to win 6 games. It might be 4 games, but they can
Pete,
win games. And
last week you said they were winning 5 games. Have you changed that number after yesterday's performance in your overreaction Monday?
yes, they're winning 4 games at best.
4 games.
Well, they're 0-4. You have them 0-4 out of the gate. So.
Pete, I never said
you never
that.
picked that. Come on, Pete. Putting words in people's mouths.
Typical media guy.
Do it.
Misquote.
Well, okay, go through it then. Go through the 4 games.
Huh?
You don't think they're beating the Broncos next week in Jacksonville? I know you don't. You
don't
think they're beating Arizona the next week? I know you don't.
There's a chance.
So the
Didn't
win.
you have them 13-4 or something in our last week's show?
No, I quit.
I thought you did.
No, we didn't pin them down and hold them to that one. But this one we're holding them to. There's no way. You don't think they're winning this week against Denver?
There's a chance.
They're not winning against Arizona.
They got a chance.
And they do have a chance against the Bengals.
I mean, there's always a chance. Come
I
on,
said.
man.
That's what I said. You got a chance.
If there's no chance, then why do you even roll the ball out there?
I just said they have a chance.
There's no chance
There's
the
also
Texans are going to win any
There's also a
games.
chance they can go 0-17.
There's a chance of that, too.
There's no chance. I've already locked it. It's off the table.
You locked it. Yeah, we have a lock tonight. We also have a lot to get to in the second hour of the program coming up in just a moment. Your social media questions are right around the corner.
Do we need 2 segments for social media questions, JP?
I think we can get by a longer one segment.
Are they appropriate to read on the air?
Oh, yes. We have filtered through. There's a lot of filters these days, and especially days like this.
Yeah.
And we'll get to some of those coming up. We'll go around the league. Plenty ahead in the second hour as we recap Week 1 in the National Football League and a Week 1 loss for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hour 2 of Jaguars Happy Hour coming up on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Hey Jags fans, in Duval we all hope to get to our destination safely, and that includes pedestrians. The Florida Department of Transportation is keeping people who walk safe by adding rectangular rapid flashing beacons in high traffic areas. When you're at the crosswalk, press the button to activate the beacon. The lights flash yellow, alerting drivers to stop. Remember pedestrians, never step into the crosswalk until drivers have come to a complete stop. Alert today, alive tomorrow, because safety doesn't happen by accident.
Crown Royal's That Deserves a Crown program recognizes local heroes for making a positive impact in the community. The Jaguars and Crown Royal are giving back to those who served this season, celebrating these individuals with the ultimate VIP Jaguars home game experience. Nominate someone who deserves a crown today at jaguars.com/Crown Royal Promotion. Please drink responsibly.
Any repeated physical activity puts stress on the body. Checking your phone, getting in the car, sitting at your desk, checking the phone, getting in your car, sitting at your desk, checking your phone for the 50th time today. If you do anything with regularity, you should get massaged with regularity. Massage Envy. Keep your body working.
Regular body work makes the body work with massage, skincare, and stretch. Come in today for more information or visit massageenvy.com for more details.
Have you painted yourself for game day and dyed your pet's fur to match? Do you bleed your team's colors and deck your pet out in team gear? Do you plan game day watch parties for fellow sports lovers and their beloved pets? Then you are a rare breed. You are a pet fanatic, equal parts pet obsessed and die-hard sports fan. At Pet Paradise, they're crazy about pets too, the official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pet Paradise. It's a new day in pet care.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Jaguars Today. All Jaguars, all NFL, all the time. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Not really. Obviously, I always like to tell the team we played they played well, and they did. But self-inflicted errors on offense were crucial. The 9 penalties on offense, which is unheard of and absolutely unacceptable. We forced a couple throws that we just got to make the right reads. But about what I thought.
That's head coach Urban Meyer today after watching the film from yesterday's loss in Houston. And welcome back. It's the second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour on a Monday afternoon. JP Shadrick with pride of the Jaguars left tackle Tony Boselli and CBS Sports senior writer Pete Prisco. 37-21, Texans with a win. It was Urban Meyer's NFL regular season debut with the Jags. It was also the NFL debut in the regular year for Trevor Lawrence. He threw 3 interceptions along with 3 touchdown passes and went over 330 yards through the air. The defense struggled throughout the day to contain Tyrod Taylor. He got out of containment a good bit, made some plays out wide, made plays down the field with his legs as well later in the game. And now the Jaguars have to regroup. Here come the Denver Broncos into TIAA Bank Field in Week 2. They got a win yesterday. Von Miller had a couple sacks in the game. Teddy Bridgewater is the quarterback now. Jerry Jeudy's going to be out, it sounds like, from the reports today. But that's we can talk about that game a little bit later coming up down the line. But there you go. That's the state of the Jaguars. You heard Urban Meyer there today discussing all the penalties. And coming up in a moment, we'll get into Keeping It Real presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi and get in to the penalties and how to correct some of those. Let's start, though, again on offense. And Trevor Lawrence threw the ball 51 times in the game, Tony. 51 attempts. And there's a stat out there somewhere. Pete, you might know it off your head, but quarterbacks that attempt over 50 passes in the NFL have historically a massive losing record.
Yeah, because you got to run the ball. You have to have balance. Yeah. I mean,
well, usually if you're throwing 51 passes, you're playing from behind too.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I don't disagree, but you need to run the ball. And if this team drops back 51 times against the Broncos, it's not going to be a good day because they have a much better pass rush, they have a good secondary, and they have a really good defense coach. Not that Lovie Smith is not a good football coach, but I'm just saying. I mean, Vic Fangio has been known to confuse some quarterbacks of the veteran variety. So I think you got to make a conscious effort to come out in this game coming up, and I think it's the way they should play football as they get Trevor Lawrence more and more comfortable. You got to run the ball, and I think James Robinson has to be a focal point of the offense.
The Chiefs threw it 37 times yesterday and ran it 20.
Yeah.
You okay with that? You're okay with that?
Yeah, if I have Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, I feel pretty good about that, Pete.
2 straight Super Bowl appearances. They can do whatever they want.
Like, that's a great comparison. That's why CBS plays you the big bucks. Let's compare the Chiefs where they are right now with their offense and to the Jaguars and their offense.
I'm just saying, you don't.
Is that what we pay you for? Is that why we have you on this show to bring great insight like that, Pete?
You don't have to run the ball to set up the pass. You can pass it to set up the run. You just don't need to throw it 8 straight plays. I get it. I'm with you on that.
Holy cow!
But I think in Tony's world, they play old school 70s football and run it and run it and run it some more, and then take a shot down the field and run it some more. That's what you want.
That's not accurate. I never said that.
What do you want, Tony?
I want.
Yeah. What do you want
for this team right now? I think 50-50 run pass, maybe 55. Pass, 45 run. That's what this team should do. Go look at the Saints when they were good with Drew Brees, and go look at the percentage run to pass, Pete.
60-40 would be good right now.
Pete, go look at the Saints when they had Drew Brees at their height, when they were good. Go look at the run-pass ratio.
You mean when they had Alvin Kamara in the backfield?
Yeah, go look at it.
Well, you don't have that in the backfield. I can tell you that right now.
Well, you don't have Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce either running around.
Well, you have a franchise quarterback that you're going to build around that can
I
make
get that, but
develop into that.
He hasn't played in 3 straight AFC championships and 2 Super Bowls.
Tony wants run, pass, run, pass, run, pass, run, pass.
I
Right there,
I
that would
didn't hear that.
Right there, that would be 66, 30, 66.6, 33.3.
Well, you're close to that.
No, I said 50-50. Clear out your ears.
You said 55-45, actually.
And I said, or 55 pass, 45 run. Not even close to what you said, Pete. Listen.
Well, yesterday was terrible. I mean, what was it? What was it yesterday? 51 to what was it for the runs?
51 to 16.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And one of those was Lawrence running.
It's got to be much more balanced than that.
Defensively,
but not 50-50.
Yeah,
not 50-50.
Right. Defensively, Tyrod Taylor got out of the pocket a good bit. Got out of at least 3 possible sacks. Urban Meyer said today again. Josh Allen was there too after the game, and he said, hey, we got to get the ball away somehow. That's one thing this defense did not do yesterday. They lost the turnover battle 3-0. But Taylor, that was the storyline going in, Pete. If you let him get out of containment, then bad things can happen down the field, and that's what happened.
Well, again, I go back to that play where he escaped. I think it was Hamilton's sack, and he had Shaquille Griffin covered his guy all the way across the field. You can't ask him to do that, and he hit the long shot down the field. The guy's got to get on the ground. They got to get him on the ground. Will that be? Is that a negative for the corner on that play? Probably not, because he covered him all the way across the field.
No,
but that's the defensive.
Yeah, that's
what's that, Tony?
No, I think that's tough to ask him to run that far with him.
Yeah, and so I think that's on the defensive line. You got to get those guys on the ground. And Hamilton actually made a good play on that play. He beat his guy quick, got in the backfield. You got to pull him down.
It's hard to argue with you, Pete. I would like to, but I can't.
And we had the conversation earlier about the Jaguars stopping the run of the Texans yesterday. 41 carries for the Texans, 41 attempts rushing, 160 yards on the ground, 3.9 per carry. And that includes Taylor's 4 for 40. And Mark Ingram, 11th year in the league, ran 26 times in the game yesterday. They've got an older running back room, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's the oldest running back room in the league.
Right. Don't see that too often, actually. But Ingram got a lot of the play yesterday. And now coming up, the Denver Broncos come to Jacksonville in week number 2. And as we discussed a little bit earlier, the Broncos are probably a little bit better team than the Houston Texans, Pete.
Well, they're really good on defense. Really good. And they played without Chubb yesterday. So he's expected back, I think, this week. So you get Chubb and Miller against those tackles who have to be better. Look, let's call them out. Period.
Tony, how they play?
I mean, Taylor has regressed. Let's put that out there. In his rookie year, he looked like he was going to be one of those guys you can count on for a decade at right tackle, and he's regressed. Cam is just okay, and he hasn't gotten any better. And it's time for those two to start playing like players that they're that Cam Robinson is being paid like, and B, your draft spot for Jawan Taylor. So start playing better. And now you have Von Miller and Bradley Chubb probably this week. Play better.
Is Chubb going to be healthy?
Well, yeah, he almost was a go this week. So I would imagine he'll be back.
All right, so that's good.
That's good.
We got that going for us.
We got that.
Pete, I agree with you. I think Taylor's best year was his rookie year.
Yes.
And he's gone backwards. That's not good. You got to figure out why and what is going on.
Well,
is
why?
it something physical? I'm not out there, JP.
I know. What have you seen?
I'm not in the meeting rooms.
From what you've seen.
Well, I'm seeing a guy who has not gotten better, that doesn't use his hands great. His sets are inconsistent. He gets off balance. He gets pushed around. I mean, where else do you want me to go?
That's all I wanted to hear.
I think Cam, I haven't seen remarkable improvement this year from last year. I mean, I'm not. I mean, is he solid? Sure. But is he a great player? No. I mean, he has a lot of potential. I mean, his size, athletic ability, his strength. But the consistency level's not there. So I thought guys were on the edge. I think, guys got beat inside a little bit. Pete's right. They were not very good in the games overall. And I don't think the offensive line played great.
That was by far and away the worst game I've seen A.J. Can play. By far.
Yeah, that was shocking to me because he had such a good year last year, and I was like really counting on that inside three to play well.
Yeah, it was awful. Now he was coming off COVID, wasn't he?
Yeah, but that was a while ago.
A little bit ago. Yeah, that was a couple weeks at least back.
I don't know. He did not look like himself. He was awful.
So,
by the way, all this offseason and preseason and training camp talk about Walker Little, he was inactive yesterday.
Well, I mean,
I think you got to slow the roll to Canton for Walker.
Yeah.
I mean, in training camp, it's all anybody talking about. Walker Little. Look at Walker Little, and then he got in the game and he got abused.
Well, that was your media creation, your media.
Not
fellows,
me.
Your media. Your media peers.
No, you're in it too, Tony.
And I was not a part of that bandwagon.
You're in the media, is all I'm saying.
And then Urban was very effusive in his praise for
was.
Walker Little, and
That's
that just
right.
got people like Mark Long going more and more, tweeting every day that he was like,
Baby Bo, right? All this stuff.
Baby Bo. Don't do that to the kid. But I mean, eventually, though, if these two tackles continue to play like they played on Sunday, they got to make some decisions.
Well, I mean, Walker. I still think Walker Little's gonna be a good player. He's big, physical. He has good athletic ability. His hands aren't just very good. He's sloppy. Now, we also have to remember he sat out basically 2 years from playing football because of injuries and COVID.
Right. Okay, but let's go through this real quick.
Oh, here we go.
His hands are sloppy. Cam Robinson is sloppy and hasn't improved his technique. The right tackle's technique has gotten worse. He was better as a rookie. A.J. Cam was awful on Sunday. At some point, doesn't coaching have to play into that a little bit?
Well, I think in this game, everyone's accountable, Pete, to answer your question. The players are first and foremost accountable. You're the player. You're the professional. It's your job to get better. And it's your job to figure it out. Now, if you want to count on the coach and put it on the coach, you can do that. But I think first and foremost, it lays at the feet of the player. Second, it's on the coach. That's his job, is to get his players better and to develop them. And whoever you want to blame more, if you want to blame everybody, I don't really care. The bottom line is it wasn't very good Sunday. And I think we talked about it on this show, Pete. If not, it was on some other show I was on. Is Urban said when he came in this offseason that he thought they had a strong group in the offensive line. He liked the group. Remember that, JP?
Yes, that's right.
And I thought that was interesting. I didn't know if he was trying to get us to look the other way because they're going to go make some plays in free agency, but they didn't. They gave Cam the franchise tag. And they made virtually zero changes outside of getting Walker Little in here as a backup tackle who was inactive, as JP said. And so my question to, I think it was you, Pete, and to whoever I was talking to, was what makes you think they're going to be any better than they were last year when you have the exact same five guys? By the way, two of them are getting older in age. Typically, you don't get better physically as you get older. At some point, there's some, physical decline. I'm not saying either of those guys have had it, but it's not all of a sudden you've got it at year 9 or 10, you got to figure it out. And so what made anyone think they were all of a sudden going to be better? And the only thing I could see is if that Jawan Taylor went back and started playing more like he did as a rookie and improved. And Cam was consistent.
But they said they said they hired the best of the best staff, right? Now, I didn't know this, but George Warhop was on, I think, the staff at the University of Cincinnati when Urban was there playing.
I think they were both players. They were a couple of years apart, and then he was on the staff when Urban was still playing. It was a year or two window, yeah.
So there's a relationship there.
That's right.
So that's obviously why he was kept.
So what are you saying there, Pete?
Well, I mean, did he do a good job last year? Let's be frank about it. He did not.
Well, I don't know what Frank has to do with this conversation, but
Frank's on the FM.
Yeah, he's somewhere
right
else. We want to go listen to him. In fairness, though, this was, I mean, last year's team was tough for any coach, Pete. I mean, it was not a great roster. Now, you could argue he had the best of the best because it was the only group they kept fully intact. I mean, that was the one group they brought back completely. Every starter. And they're going, and basically, if you look at the backups, the three guys active, Shatley, Barch, Will Richardson. It's the same 8 guys.
That's right.
There's
Well,
no
and here's the
difference.
other thing.
It's the same guys.
They were all the same. They're the same guys 3 years in a row.
So that is the thing that's I just thought it was interesting. I'm not saying it's the wrong play, but it was not great. It was not a great start. And and I know we got to go to break here because we want to do social media. I'll throw it to you.
Yeah, thanks.
But the way I look at it, Pete, that was just the 4th preseason game. I'm chalking that up. That one didn't count. We have 16 more games. Let's go.
Oh my God! There it is. Glass half full guy. There he is.
Hey, by the way, some breaking news involving Tony's alma mater, Southern Cal, has parted ways with Clay Helton.
I knew that was coming.
They got
After they lost to Stanford.
Blown out by Stanford. Wasn't just a loss.
Did they say who the intern?
Let's see. I'm going through. Can't see right off the top. We'll get to that coming up. Oh, interim head coach Dante Williams.
Okay.
We'll come back in a moment. Social media questions, and we've got some interesting ones today when we come back. We'll also, that's in a little bit. Keeping It Real, presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi, is right around the corner, and it's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beveridge, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat even after all these years. Head over to Tito'sVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
It's time for sunshine and summer showers, so it's more important than ever to make sure you call Crystal Clean for all your waterproofing needs. Waterproofing can extend the life of your building by keeping water outside where it belongs. And that Florida sun can beat up your business's paint job. Crystal Clean's painting services can bring your building back to life. From waterproofing to painting, schedule Crystal Clean today. Call 904-220-3337 or go to crystalclean.com. You don't have to worry when it's crystal clean.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
I'm Urban Meyer, head football coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. New horizons call for renewed vision, enhanced clarity, and an unparalleled willingness to block out the noise and distractions around you and simply focus on achieving greatness. Because getting one step closer to defying everyone's expectations isn't just about waiting for a window of opportunity, it's about creating it for yourself. It's about being a game changer, both on and off the field. And when we say we're all about renewal and achievement in Jacksonville, we mean it. That's why we've chosen to partner with Renewal by Anderson, official window and door replacement company of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Ice-T, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and
Matty Ice.
This is a cold call.
I convinced NFL teams to turn to cold water washing with Tide.
The NFL, your uniforms get dirty.
Tide can handle it, even in cold. Plus, if fans join in, they can save up to $150 on their energy bill.
Looks like you just made the team, rookie.
Turn to cold with Tide.
And that's the bottom line.
It's got to be Tide. Energy savings based on average when switching from hot to cold and non-HE machines.
When Jaguars news breaks, you'll hear about it first on 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on this Monday afternoon after Week 1. Jaguars dropped the opener in Houston, 37-21 on to Denver. The Broncos come to TIAA Bank Field for the home opener this Sunday in week number 2. Time now for Keeping It Real, presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. Open up a winner today. Real ingredients, award-winning wine by Robert Mondavi. Our segment today, Keeping It Real. How concerning are all these penalties, the too many men on the field penalty, illegal formations, the holding calls, and how do you correct those things moving forward?
Well, I mean, the penalties, you have to break them down to pre-snap penalties and like in-game action penalties. So the pre-snap penalties, alignment, motion, getting the right number of guys on the field, substitution errors, getting lined up, those type of things. We saw some of the disorganization. That is reps, practice. That's both on the coaches and the players. You have to be organized, you have to be focused, you have to do your preparation, you have to know where you're supposed to be and when you're supposed to be there. From a standpoint of holding and those penalties that happen within the play of the game, some of those are just going to happen because the game's so fast and you're competing, you're trying your best. That also, though, can be corrected during practice, and that's repping, rep, doing it the right way. You have to practice how you want to play, and so you got to work. If Brandon Linder having issues getting his hands outside, you got to work getting him inside. And you got to rep it constantly. It's the only way you change and ingrain it and make it a habit. So both are practice issues. One's mental, one's being prepared, watching tape, game plan, understanding what you're supposed to be doing, paying attention to meetings, attention to detail, and the other is repping out your technique and doing it right so that when it is full speed and when you're going at it, gives you a better chance of not getting your hands in the wrong place.
I would imagine the pre-snap penalties and all that stuff bothers coaches more than anything. At least if I was a coach, it would.
You could tell it did Urban. Just the way he sounded and looked yesterday and sounded today.
If a guy's competing and his hand slides outside sometimes and he holds, okay, at least he's competing. The pre-snap stuff and the too many men on the field, that's inexcusable. And yeah, as a coach, you're partly responsible for it. I get it. But that would drive me up a wall. Motion penalties, not lined up on the line of scrimmage, all the little things that you should be doing. And Tony's right. Those are the things you do, the details in practice, in the meetings, and everywhere else. And they got to be better at that. It was a sloppy team yesterday.
All right, one weekend. We just kept it real, and that was Keeping It Real by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. Open up a winner today. Real Ingredients, award-winning wine by Robert Mondavi. I still haven't seen the care package yet.
No, I have not either.
Tony, Pete, no?
No, I haven't got that yet.
Well, at some point.
Call Robert and tell him we need that.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Pete, can I ask you a question about a game yesterday? Did you watch the Giants play against the Broncos?
I haven't watched the tape, but I watched the game while it was on, yeah.
Was Daniel Jones just under constant pressure and just did not play well from that pass rush?
Yes, he was under pressure.
Good to know. We'll come back in a moment. A little later,
That's not good to know with the way that line played yesterday.
Right. We'll go around the National Football League in just a little bit. We'll come back, though, with social media questions. What a day it has been on Twitter after a Jaguars loss in Week 1. 37-21 the final. And this is Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to Tito'sVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's handmade vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has the print services you need for your business. Need large banners and signs for your next promotional event? How about vehicle wraps to advertise your company fleet? Find out for yourself how Kessler Creative can help you stand out from the competition with eye-catching designs that are sure to impress your customers. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 44 years straight. Built for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't built for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
Healthcare coverage for less? Yes. Now, because of the new healthcare stimulus, you can get better benefits, more coverage, and pay less with a Florida Blue plan. Claim your savings today. Visit floridablue.com/getcovered now. Policies have limitations and exclusions. If you already had health insurance in 2021, speak with an agent to find out how changing plans could impact your deductibles and out-of-pocket maximums. Florida Blue and Health Options Incorporated, DBA Florida Blue HMO, are independent licensees of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association. Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Scrubbing soon to a location near you. You know and love the Scrubble Stars at the Town Center, Fleming Island, and Atlantic Beach. Now get ready for 4 new locations scrubbing soon this year, featuring Kernan, San Jose, Racetrack Road, and Oakleaf. Give your car the glitz and glam it deserves at the best car wash in town with free car prep, vacuums, window cleaner, and more. You can also catch us at every Jags home game and cool down at the Scrubby's Misting Arch. Drive in to see us now and in the future at our Scrubbing Soon locations. Scrubbles, trust the bow tie. You'll know quality once you arrive.
Jacksonville Sports Talk for Jacksonville sports fans. 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour, Monday after Week 1. Glad you're along with us today on 1010XL in Jacksonville and Jaguars social media channels. My name's JP Shadrick. Tony Boselli alongside Pete Prisco down in South Florida. And it's time now for our social media question segment, Tony's favorite. Pete loves it.
Love it.
Gotta have
I love it.
Do it every week. Earlier in the day, we put out the bat signal, and here is the best we've come up with today. Let's start with number 1. From @J-M65. Are there positives to take from yesterday? What are some of those, Pete?
The quarterback, for one. I know it wasn't great, but it was he made some throws that you looked at and you go, yes, he's that guy. And so he's one. I think Josh Allen flashed the pass rush. I think Robertson Harris played well. That's about it.
I'll go quarterback. I mean, it wasn't great, but I think there's no doubt in my mind that he's the franchise quarterback and he can do it all. And, yes, I knew he had a great arm. I liked how he handled the pressure. I like how he handled getting hit. He didn't flinch. He didn't get scared. He wasn't rattled at any moment in that game. I thought that was good. Yeah, Josh Allen, I think he played a good football game. I thought he played solid. He was physical. He rushed the passer. We saw him flash. He got pressure even when the ball the ball was out early. And I thought Rayshon Jenkins played well. I think he's physical. Comes up in the run, makes plays, fights off blocks. He plays fast.
We saw that in the preseason, too.
I think those are 3 positives. And, I mean, I just didn't add Roy Robinson Harris because he used that, so I figured I'd try to go somewhere different.
Very nice. Well done. Next question on social media today. At Coach PMAC, lacrosse guy there. With the $30 million available in cap space, what can be done now to make the roster more competitive?
Nothing.
0.
You claim guys for 2 more weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, who's going to come in here and help that team right away? Come on.
There's like the roster's set for the most part. Like that's
it is.
what you got,
it is what
that's
it
you're gonna
is.
Deal with. Like go to war. Let's go.
That's what it is.
It is what it is.
It is indeed what it is. Question 3. Reber. Brett Reber, our producer at Pirate Penguin, Florida. Where is the line between legal and illegal on pick plays? The Texans killed us all day using them and seemed far more successful at them than we usually are. Everyone runs them. Why do they sometimes work better or worse?
I think a lot of it's timing, and I think the good teams have it timed up where it looks like the one guy is running a route, and just from his path forces the defender to bubble over or go through him, creating excess space. And so the good offenses are it's all about timing. They're in sync. They're on the same page, and give the offensive coordinator and coaches credit because they call it the right time when you got man coverage. It only works against man.
And the Patriots, all you got to do is go back and look at the Patriots over the years. They're masters at it. Masters at running those pick routes.
As long as the offensive player doesn't, run into the other guy, right?
Yeah, you just
can't.
You can't.
The defenders run into
right.
each other.
You have to make it look like it's a natural action of a pass route.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like on the touchdown pass to the back, Miles Jack ran into the corner, and so it wasn't like he got picked by his own guy, and that's the greatness of it.
Next question on Jaguars Happy Hour today on social media at Matthew Lock 8. Penalties have consistently hampered this team in previous seasons, killed early momentum. That's not a complete sentence. Why is this a consistent problem despite coaching changes? What can be done?
Yeah, if you want to make that a sentence, I think if you would have said killing early momentum.
Yeah, a comma killing. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's okay, though. I'm not an English teacher.
Well, it depends what you're talking about there because I don't remember, and maybe I've forgotten because I've just erased it from my brain.
You've already buried the tape?
Well, no, I don't remember a bunch because he says different coaches. I don't remember a bunch of pre-snap penalties and stuff around Doug and struggling to line up. Do you? I mean, maybe it was. I've just erased it.
I don't remember him either, but
I remember they had a bunch of penalties overall as a team.
Yeah,
there was a bunch of late hit things.
Late hits.
That's
post-play discipline.
Control penalties.
Right.
Yeah, they had the out-of-control penalties.
Yeah, that was bad. So that was the difference.
Yeah,
there.
and so this is.
There was one of those late in the game on this team, though, right?
It was offsetting on both.
Right. That's right. Anyway,
that happens. You're down a lot. Motions get flowing, and I always love when my favorite is when the media or fans or whoever, they say we want our players to play with emotion and care and go out there and fight, and then they cross the line just slightly. They have no discipline. What are they doing? 15-yard penalty.
Come on, Urban.
I'm like, come on. I mean, do you have any idea what it is like to be on that field and just pour everything into it? And if it's not going well or there's frustration, they think they were just like robots. Oh, just turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it off. I mean, it's just
Madden. It's Madden.
That bothers me a little bit.
I could see Pete being like a late hit guy when he played.
I would have been Richie Incognito if I played in the NFL.
You're about the same size as him right now.
I mean, my God, he is the dirtiest, nastiest human being.
Oh, my goodness. Next question on Jaguars Happy Hour on this Monday afternoon at Duval_43. I don't recall a game where there were so many drops. Was this a product of Trevor throwing missiles on every throw, or should they have just got the dang ball? # disappointed. # overreaction Monday.
Well, some of them were thrown behind. I mean, were they
Correct.
catchable? Yes. I don't think his receivers did him any favors and bailed him out of just average throws. And so I don't know. I mean, you'd have to ask the receivers, was he throwing too hard? I mean, here's something. DJ Chark didn't get a lot of reps with Trevor Lawrence during the preseason.
It's true.
And even when he was out there, he was sharing time with Gardner Minshew.
Correct.
Which is a whole nother story in itself.
Marvin Jones.
We've covered that story.
How many? Well, I mean, did that have something to do with it? I don't know. It's a question. If you're not used to catching the ball with the starting quarterback.
the one Chark dropped was kind of behind him a little bit, I thought.
But it hit him in the back number, Pete. He should catch that ball.
Yeah, he should have catch. Oh, he should have caught it, but he still was. I didn't think it was a.
No, they weren't.
And,
No, that's why I said they didn't bail him out at all. They were. I mean, like good
Right.
receivers bail their quarterback out when it's not perfect.
One play that I did notice that I'm going to defend the quarterback on. I don't know if you noticed this when you were watching it, Tony. On the crosser to O'Shaughnessy, he stopped. He like slowed down. Do you remember that play? It was about a 20-yard shot down the field, and he was crossing.
Yeah.
And he kind of slowed down. He chopped his feet, and if he keeps running, he hits him right in his hands.
Yeah. Well, it's timing. You got to get work together. I mean, like
maybe that was a rep that went to Minshew in practice.
But Pete, in all seriousness, last year, who won the Super Bowl?
Tampa Bay.
Who has more Super Bowl rings than any quarterback in the history of the game? Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
What was Tom Brady doing during the offseason when COVID was going on and everyone else was kind of trying to figure out what was supposed to happen? With
throwing with his guys?
Organizing his own practices at the practice field, throwing with his guys. Why? Because he knows, and if you go ask him, you got to rep it. You got to get on the same page. He'll call it. You have to trust each other. That only comes by reps. They did not get a lot of reps together, and this. I agree. This isn't even me. Like I'm done debating the Urban Meyer, Gardner Minshew.
That's over.
I don't care.
That ship has sailed.
But here's a result of it. You did not get as many reps as you would have if you just gave Trevor Lawrence all the reps.
That ship has sailed, but that ship hit an iceberg. I mean, come on.
But I'm just telling you, the greats. Go ahead.
Right. Okay, but it was the wrong decision. Stop sugarcoating it. It was a terrible decision.
Pete, I don't care. I'm not saying that. My point is, you don't get better without reps, and whether they're not used to this ball, whether the timing, whether it's not knowing where to be, whatever.
I get it. I agree with you 100%. But if that's the case, should he have gotten every rep with the ones in practice?
Well, you and I both agree he should have, but that ship has sailed, and I guess you said it hit an iceberg.
2 questions left. Let's get to our next one here on Jaguars Happy Hour at bootlegged_human. How did Carlos Hyde get more carries than James Robinson? I think we've talked about this.
Bootlegged, when you find out, let me know.
I don't get it. That one I can't figure out at all. 0.
No idea.
All right, easy enough. Our final.
JP, why don't you the coaches show tomorrow night?
Well, here's one.
That's right. Urban Meyer
shows tomorrow night. Why don't you ask Urban?
He played for Urban. And he was drafted by Balky.
That's right.
How about that?
Well, there you go. That's why he's here. Our final question on Jaguars Happy Hour today from social media at PSarberalt. It's been a while since I took French. A lot of Trevor's throws seem to sail a little bit on him. Rookie jitters for his first regular season NFL game? Question mark.
Well, I think you just can't lump it into everything. I think a couple times there was pressure up the middle, and if you can't follow through completely, the ball will sell on you.
Yeah, into the microphone, please, Tony. Thank you.
I was trying not to laugh into the microphone because of your idiotic, stupid comments. I think when you can't step in, that can cause it to sail. He went to his left. He airmailed. I can't remember if that was Chark or Marvin Jones or whoever in the middle of the field and end up interception. That's throwing across your body, not finishing the throw. Most of it's technique. I don't think it was – I'm sure there were some jitters that he had. Maybe he tried to overthrow a couple times. But it's nothing I would be overly concerned about.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either. He just missed a couple. The one rolling to his left he just overshot it. He made the right decision. The one on the sideline, the Chark, he's got to put that out in front of him a little bit, not to the sideline. But nothing major. I didn't think it was that bad.
I just got a response to the bat signal from earlier saying, Pete is a snake I won't be watching. That's from at CFWB.
I'm a snake?
What was that?
Yeah. When I put out the question earlier, somebody just now responded saying, Pete is a snake I won't be watching.
Oh.
Jaguars Happy Hour.
That's too bad.
Good.
Well, sorry.
Darn. How am I going to make it through the day?
And by the way, just now, this USC job broke, they fired Clay Helton. As it has been the last couple years, when any big college job comes open, Urban Meyer is now trending on Twitter. if you're into that.
Well, because that was supposedly the one college job that he had his eye on. That and so that's why it makes. Remember, it made sense.
Yeah,
but he's not leaving.
No,
he's not leaving that job.
No, just got it started. So let's come back in a moment. We will go around the National Football League in week number 1. Thanks for all the submissions and all the questions today on Twitter. Glad to have you as part of the program each and every week. This is Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beveridge, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat even after all these years. Head over to Tito'sVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
This is Ice-T, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and
Matty Ice.
This is a cold call.
I convinced NFL teams to turn to cold water washing with Tide.
The NFL, your uniforms get dirty.
Tide can handle it, even in cold. Plus, if fans join in, they can save up to $150 on their energy bill.
Looks like you just made the team, rookie.
Turn to cold with Tide.
And that's the bottom line.
It's got to be Tide. Energy savings based on average when switching from hot to cold and non-HE machines.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
At ViStar, we believe in better, especially in helping build a better financial future for our members. So we've reviewed our offerings from the ground up. We've lowered or eliminated over half our fees and enhanced our already competitive rates, saving members more than $1 million this year, in addition to the millions we save them every year. If you believe that saving money is better, join ViStar. Visit ViStarCU.org. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
You expect Jags fans to say, Duval. You expect the Beard Stadium's going to be cold, the dogs will be hot, but what you don't expect is an airport hotel with a renovated, inviting lobby, a cool bar, and crowded restaurant, or 10,000 square feet of space just waiting for your next family or business event. At the Crowne Plaza Jacksonville Airport, you should always expect to be surprised. Book online or call 1-877-2-CROWN. That's 1-877-227-6963.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
The station that the Jaguars listen to, 1010XL. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back, Jaguars Happy Hour. As we come down the home stretch on a Monday afternoon, JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. Texans 37, Jaguars 21. We're going to bury the tape. We're moving forward.
We already
We're on to Denver.
Why would you bring that up now? We already discussed that ad nauseum, and we moved on.
I'm just saying, we're moving on.
We're going to work. We're going to work. We're getting reps. We're going to work on our technique. We're going to get lined up. We're going to get substitutions. And we're going to go win a football game on Sunday, JP.
Pete, it sounds to me like Tony wants the USC job.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine?
You want to win? You want to win a national title, Pete? Hire me as SC coach.
Yeah, great. You can go back to the 1970s and use the USC sweep again.
Student body
I would not do that. I would hire a very innovative offensive coordinator. But I'll tell you what I would do. I'd go recruit big, nasty offensive linemen and big, nasty defensive linemen. There's plenty of speed and skill guys out there. I want the
Yep.
big dudes that are just nasty.
How does it feel to have your season over after 2 games already?
You know what? I thought, and I hate to say this because I like Clay Helton a lot, and I never want to get anyone fired, but I thought it was inevitable that this was going to happen. And so it could happen now or it could happen midseason. I just did not see this team having success this year.
By the way, ASU stinks too. They're 2-0, but they stink.
I feel like we have this conversation every year about this week, about
and
2
then
weeks in.
Alabama's going to come roll the Gators, which are going to make my daughters, who are both Gators, cry. So
I'll tell you what, I mean, they're big favorites, but I don't know. If they put Richardson in there a little bit more at Florida, that kid's dynamic.
Oh,
now.
stop it, JP. Don't play that game.
I'm
You
just
know your
saying.
team's the best in the country.
I'm just saying.
For whatever
Pete,
reason.
I saw Florida Saturday.
Pete,
They're
who should
dynamic.
if USC is not smart enough to hire me, who should they go after?
Urban.
They're not going after Urban. Stop. Who should they go after?
How about Matt Campbell?
We said
I
that.
know we're talking through some names, yeah.
His team got beat up pretty good the other day, though.
You know who I think would be a great coach, and I'd love to have him, but it'll never happen because he was already our coach once, and I think he's matured and is like
Sarkisian?
No,
Lane
Kiffin.
Kiffin. How about that?
I think Lane Kiffin. Like I thought Lane Kiffin was a great coach. He was just
Right.
immature and not ready for that job, and I think he went through some hard times. Went to Alabama, got his stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
Was awesome at FAU.
Mm-hmm. And
he's
is
doing a
okay
great
at Ole Miss.
job at Ole Miss.
Now he might not ever win the division.
No, but I'm saying, for what Ole Miss can be,
sure,
he's doing a great job. Yeah. He's a heck of a recruiter. He's a great offensive mind. I think kids
never
love him.
happened. That never happened.
No, you can't. SC can't hire him. But I would. This is the problem. You know what you do? You don't do what people tell you can't do. You go make the right choice and you live with it. You might not win the press conference, but nobody cares when you win the title. Too many people in the NFL and in college football and professional sports in general try to win the press conference.
Right.
Who cares about the press conference? Yippee!
Right. I agree.
Off season. Woohoo!
Fight on.
Like that doesn't
Victory.
matter. Guess what? Nobody cares when you are holding the title about the press conference. And SC's guilty of it. I remember when we hired Pete Carroll, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, worst hire ever. What are we doing?" All he did is has one of the greatest runs in that era, when multiple national titles and
then ran like hell at the end.
They got to start opening up the checkbook like when you were there.
I didn't get paid, unfortunately. I didn't say that. I did not get paid. I didn't strike, unfortunately, please.
No, that is unfortunately.
Strike it. Strike it from the record. I'm going for a college. I'm trying to get a college head coaching job. I can't have that on the record. Please strike it.
What would have been Tony's name, image, and likeness deal, Pete?
Oh.
Back in '93.
Billions. With a B?
No. You would have been I would have got a
cheeseburger.
You got a restaurant. You would have gotten a restaurant chain to take care of the wine or something.
Yeah.
But my point is saying this: don't win the press conference. Go just make, I think I'd be a great head coach. By the way, I'm not. That's no joking aside. I think I'd be outstanding. But with that said, that's
run it, coach.
No,
run it.
I wouldn't do that. That's not going to happen. So I know everyone's disappointed. I won't be the SC coach. But I'm serious. I hope SC doesn't try to win the press conference. Just go get the best guy. Whoever that is, go get the best guy. I have opinions. I'm not going to share them because I don't want anyone to steal them. But it's a mistake. Okay. I think it's a mistake a lot of organizations make.
Yeah.
See, here's the problem with college football. We're trying to hire a guy right now. The same programs are good every year. You're not hiring away from them. Nick Saban's not leaving. The guy at Georgia's not leaving. Ohio State's not leaving. Oklahoma's Lincoln Riley's not leaving. So it's the same. So where do you get the next group? Okay, Matt Campbell. The NFL's after Matt Campbell.
What about PJ Flex turned Minnesota around? I mean,
yeah, the shtick is tiring to me. Row the boat. Give me a break.
There'd be oars all over the Coliseum.
I don't want to.
You think it's a little bit sticky?
I don't like that shtick.
We can talk
row
about
the boat. Come on.
We'll leave the conversation about SC to another time. Let's go around the National Football League and recap the games in week number 1. The Eagles over the Falcons, and Jalen Hurts, 3 touchdown passes in the game, one of those to Devontae Smith, Pete.
And you know what, Tony? You made a good point. The press conference. Nick Sirianni was terrible in his press conference. Everybody killed him, and he's got that team off to a good start. And you look at that division. I mean, Washington lost its quarterback for a while. The Cowboys have defensive issues, and the Giants stink. Who knows? Good job by the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it in the game, but you're right. I mean, if you go back to the offseason when we're hiring coaches, everyone said Arthur Smith was a great hire. And I'm not saying he's not going to be, but to your point, Nick Sirianni was like the afterthought. And it's early returns. Don't overreact like Pete does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't overreact on Monday, so I'll chalk it up as a nice win, but let's see how the rest of the year goes.
The Steelers over the Bills 23-16 in Orchard Park.
Shocking to me. This one shocked me.
Did it really?
Yes. I didn't.
Not me.
Why?
I just thought I figured it would be close. I thought it would be close. I didn't think they'd win the game because I thought their defense is that good, and they did. You know what's weird, Tony? Didn't blitz. They blitzed them one time. The Steelers known for blitzing. They played coverage.
Yeah, I'm just
slowed
shocked
it down a little bit.
I'm shocked that the Bills didn't score more than 16, Pete. That's the shocking part.
Yeah, and there was a block punt too. I mean, I don't know if you saw that block punt for a touchdown. Roethlisberger was awful for 3 quarters. Awful.
Sam Darnold made his Panthers debut through a touchdown pass, 19-14 Panthers over the Jets.
What were his numbers? Because Twitter was like raving about Sam Darnold.
24 of 35, 279 yards through the air.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he played well. Jets aren't very good. They have a lot of young people on defense. And
the left tackle got hurt.
Yeah, and it took Wilson a while to get going. But give him credit because he started slowly and played better in the second half of the game.
Overtime game. The Bengals got a field goal at the end of overtime and a win over the Vikings, 27-24.
I think the Bengals are going to be better than anyone thought this year. Because I'm a big Joe Burrow guy. I'm a huge Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase had a rough preseason, but was dominant in the.
Well, that's the moral of that story is I'd rather have a guy who gets wide open and might not catch it in the preseason than a guy who catches it and can't get open. Because that was the most overblown story of the entire preseason. Jamar Chase went off. They're interesting. And they, you know what, too? They destroyed Kirk Cousins up front. They got after him.
49ers over the Lions, 41-33. And Trey Lance came in for 1 pass and threw a touchdown. Garoppolo threw one as well, went over 300 yards.
Well, I mean, Detroit's defense is not very good. But, they were down 31-7 after a pick 6 at half and came back and had the ball with a chance to go tie it and trying to convert a 4th and 5 to continue the series. And I don't think they're a very good team. I think the 49ers are good, but second half, not a great defensive effort by that 49er team. And
well, they lost a corner, too. Jason Verrett out for the year.
Verrett out ACL, which is shocking. It's just so sad. That guy's had more injuries than you can count.
Amazing.
Seahawks over the Colts, 28-16. Russell Wilson, 4 touchdown passes, Pete.
The Colts defense disappointed me in a big way. I thought that unit would take strides forward this year, and they look worse. It was bad, man. He almost could do whatever the heck he wanted to against them. It was awful.
How was Carson Wentz?
Average. Not awful, though. It was okay. It was more the defense, Tony. I mean, you had guys running wide open. It was bad. Division stinks.
Seattle defense had 10 quarterback hits in that game, by the way. The Cardinals over the Titans, 38-13, and what a day for Kyler Murray for the Cards.
I watched that tape this afternoon. I'm telling you, the Cardinals looked like they played the entire game with 12 men on defense. They were fast, athletic, tough. The corners played well. Julio Jones looked slow. They couldn't get Henry going at all. And Taylor Lewan was awful.
Well,
he was so bad.
Lewan, and I'll give Lewan a little bit of a break. He's number one. He's playing against a really good player. Not that you should give him 5 sacks, but this is his first game back after an ACL.
But he only gave up 4.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, because they took him out for a couple plays, and the guy came in, gave up one.
But Pete, you know what I'm saying? He's coming off an ACL.
Yeah.
That would explain head down. He's probably not comfortable bending the knee yet. He needs to get some game reps underneath.
You know, we got a new thing we're doing on the pick show we do on Wednesdays, me and Brady Quinn, where I came up with the spinning top.
Oh,
he was
really?
gonna get it, but yeah.
You only said that at the beginning of the show too, Pete.
Are
Thanks.
You doubling
Why don't you
up
say it
on
again?
your self.
Holy cow! Is there a doctor? Is there a doctor?
We got a thing to show you now.
We already know. You've told us twice now.
You didn't see it.
No one cares.
Let's put it in front of the camera again. You got it?
No, I don't have it, but I'll show it to you.
How old are you, Pete? Do we need to like?
No, I'm just telling you because I wanted to show you because they sent me the thing right now.
Oh, okay. I thought you forgot you'd already told us.
No,
that
they
15
sent
minutes
me
ago.
there's like a special thing they made up with my face on it, spinning around on a top.
I don't need to see it. I already see enough of your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
In high definition. That's great. Chargers 20 and Washington 16. And that one, Herbert went for 337 through the air.
Herbert is one of the best young quarterbacks in the league, Pete.
He is. Man, he threw it. You know what was the best thing about him yesterday? He threw an interception and came right back and got that team down there. Here's the other thing. Washington probably wins that game if Fitzpatrick doesn't get hurt. But their defense wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I was a little disappointed in the way they played on defense.
How did Chase Young play?
He didn't do much. Rashawn Slater did a nice job on him.
Yeah, I got that Thursday night game football team against the Giants up in our nation's capital. So I'll be heading up there Wednesday night. I'm watching I'm going to watch that tape. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Rashawn and I haven't watched the tape yet, but just watched the TV tape. It looked like Rashawn Slater really did a nice job on him.
Chiefs had a second-half rally and knocked off the Browns 33-29. Patrick Mahomes 3 touchdown passes.
My only takeaway from that game is I was watching it at the airport as we were waiting for my flight home from Houston. Nothing like it. How is that not the Sunday night game? How do they put the Rams and the Bears on Sunday night and not the Chiefs and the Browns, who are two of the better teams in the AFC this year?
To open the new stadiums. That's why.
Yeah, SoFi
to show
Stadium.
the new stadiums on with fans in them. That's why
First
they
time
did
with
it.
Fans.
I don't care.
I'm with you. I'm with you. That was a good game. And my takeaway from that game is one team knows how to win and the other one doesn't yet in big games. That's the bottom line.
That's fair.
Tua Tagovailoa had a touchdown pass. He also had an interception, but the Dolphins knock off Mac Jones and the Patriots 17-16.
I didn't see any of the games. I saw Mac Jones' stats. Looks like he had a good opening day as a rookie.
He was solid. Did some really good things. His first pass, he threw backwards. He was getting spun around. It should have been a fumble, but they called it incomplete pass. Did some good. They should have won the game. They fumbled in the 10-yard line late in the game and would have won it, and that's why the Dolphins won. But give Dolphins credit. They went up there and played them head up.
Jameis Winston threw 5 touchdown passes here at TIAA Bank Field. Saints over the Pack, 38-3. Aaron Rodgers with picks on back-to-back drives. He threw 5 interceptions all of last season.
Well, a couple things. If I looked at the stats right, Jameis Winston only had 144 yards but threw 5 touchdowns. I don't understand that. I didn't see the game. I don't know how that happens. And maybe working in the offseason with your guys might help a little bit. I don't know.
Well, here's the other thing. They did a great job on Rodgers. The receivers didn't win. He held the ball, and the line didn't play well. It's a bad combination, Green Bay's offense. And that's not a great, secondary that they have in New Orleans. They just locked them down.
But how does Jameis have 5 touchdowns with only 144 yards?
Well, they turned the ball over a couple of times, point-blank range. And the other thing he did, Tony, he didn't turn it over. That's the most important. He did throw a bad interception on one play that was called back, vintage Jameis. It was called back, but he took care of the ball. It was like a safe game for him.
Final couple of game scores here. Broncos over the Giants 27-13 and the Rams over the Bears last night 34-14.
Didn't see either of those games.
Monday Night Football. We head to the desert from the Death Star in Las Vegas. Hang on, Pete. Lamar Jackson will have to do it all himself for the Baltimore Ravens with every running back injured. They visit Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders. Who you got tonight in the desert, Tony?
I'm going with the Raiders. I think that Raiders team, I think Derek Carr, and I think that offense is having a big day. I think Baltimore is beat up. I think the bunch of injuries. I think Marcus Peters is a big loss because I think the offense is a big play offense. And I think Gus Bradley gets that defense better.
Well, it can't be any worse. I mean, my God, they were awful. Gus Bradley has a good track record against the Ravens, but I'm not buying it. I don't think they have enough players on defense. I think Lamar Jackson has a big day. High-scoring game up and down the field. I'll take the Ravens.
There you have it. Monday night picks are in.
Hey, Pete,
quickly.
Pete, we only do this every week. This time, JP does the Monday night read. You don't need to be talking in the background. Be quiet next time.
He jumped the gun on that. He jumped the gun. So we were talking.
Goodbye, Pete. Pete Prisco's out of here.
Bye-bye,
Boselli, Joe Fortunato, Brett Ray, JP. It's Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.